Hello, and welcome to Senior Wise Journey. Have you ever stood at the threshold of a new day, looked in the mirror, and asked the person staring back what comes next? For many of us who have journeyed past the 60-year milestone, that question holds a profound weight. We've built careers, raised families, and woven our lives into the great American tapestry. We were told that in our golden years, the strong arms of family would be our unwavering support. But what if I told you that the most reliable foundation for the incredible chapters yet to be written isn't found in others, but is forged within you? This isn't about diminishing the profound love of family. It's about elevating ourselves. It's about building a life of such unshakable personal strength, dignity, and independence that we become a beacon of light for our loved ones, not a burden. Today, we will explore 6 essential pillars that will become the bedrock of your resilience, your joy, and your freedom. Let's embark on this journey together and discover how to build a future where you are not just surviving, but truly thriving. Pillar 1, the bedrock of your independence, financial sovereignty. There's an unspoken agreement many of us have with the future. We work hard, we save, we support our children through thick and thin, and we hold a quiet hope that, should the need arise, they'll be there for us. It's a beautiful sentiment, born of love. But hope, my friends, is not a financial plan. The single greatest gift you can give your children is the peace of mind knowing you are secure. And the greatest gift you can give yourself is the freedom that comes with it. This is what I call financial sovereignty. Think of Richard, a proud 72-year-old retired electrician. He'd spent 40 years wiring homes, ensuring the lights always stayed on for others. He'd put his 2 children through college and was the first person they called for a loan when they bought their first homes. He assumed that safety net was a two-way street. But when a sudden cardiac event led to a mountain of medical bills his insurance didn't fully cover, his savings evaporated like morning mist. He turned to his children, not with a demand, but with a heavy heart. He found not a lack of love, but a reflection of modern reality. They were stretched thin, grappling with their own mortgages, the rising cost of living, and the financial pressures of raising their own families. The well, as much as they wished it weren't so, was dry. Richard felt a chill that had nothing to do with his health. It was the cold dread of dependency. His story is a vital lesson. Financial sovereignty isn't about being wealthy enough to own a yacht. It's about being secure enough to navigate the stormy seas of life without having to send out an SOS. It's about understanding your assets, from Social Security benefits to your 401k. It's about having a clear-eyed look at your budget and trimming the fat, not out of deprivation, but for the sake of liberation. It's having a dedicated emergency fund that acts as a fortress wall against the unexpected. For many, this is the time to have honest conversations, not with your kids about what they can do for you, but with a financial advisor about what you can do for yourself. Is downsizing your home a path to freedom? Can you consolidate debt to improve your cash flow? Are there passive income streams you haven't considered? Taking control of your finances after 60 is a profound act of self-respect. It declares to the world, and more importantly to yourself, I am the architect of my security. I am the master of my ship. This pillar is the bedrock upon which all others can be safely built. Pillar 2, your most precious asset, the temple of your body. We Americans talk a lot about freedom. It's in our songs, our history, our very identity. But let me tell you what true freedom feels like after 60. It's the ability to kneel in the garden without a sharp pain shooting up your back. It's the strength to lift your grandchild into the air for a hug. It's the clarity of mind to walk through the grocery store without forgetting half your list. True freedom is a currency called health, and it's a fortune that once spent is nearly impossible to recover. Your family's love is boundless, but it cannot do a single push-up for you. Their support is a comfort, but it cannot choose a crisp salad over a greasy burger on your behalf. This pillar, the temple of your body, is a sacred responsibility that rests solely on your shoulders. Consider Carl, a 68-year-old who, in his youth, was the star quarterback of his high school team. He'd always been naturally strong, coasting on the laurels of his past vitality. After retiring from his sales job, he embraced the leisurely life. He figured he'd get back in shape eventually. But eventually is a thief. Slowly, insidiously, his world began to shrink. First, he gave up his weekly golf game because walking the course felt too tiring. Then, carrying the laundry basket up from the basement became a monumental task. His children would visit, their faces etched with concern, but they had their own jobs, their own kids' soccer games to attend. They couldn't be his 24/7 personal trainers. The moment of reckoning came when he dropped his car keys and found the effort to bend down and retrieve them so exhausting he had to sit for a moment to catch his breath. In that instant, he wasn't a star quarterback. He was a prisoner in his own body. Carl's story is a wake-up call. Taking command of your physical health is not about vanity, it's about sovereignty. It's not about training for a marathon, it's about committing to a daily walk, rain or shine. It's about discovering gentle, joint-friendly movements like Tai Chi or water aerobics that build balance and prevent falls. It's about viewing food as fuel, understanding that what you put on your plate directly impacts your energy, your mood, and your cognitive function. It means making those doctor's appointments you've been putting off and listening, truly listening, to the signals your body is sending. That persistent ache, that growing fatigue, these are not signs of defeat. They are invitations to take action. Every healthy choice you make today is a direct investment in an independent and vibrant tomorrow. This pillar is not about adding years to your life, but about adding life to your years. Pillar 3. The lifeblood of joy, your chosen tribe. There is a quiet epidemic sweeping across our nation, one that's more insidious than any virus: loneliness. As we age, our world naturally begins to contract. Friends relocate to be closer to their own grandchildren, cherished loved ones pass on, and the bustling social life we once knew can fade to a whisper. It's in this quiet that we often turn to our family, expecting them to fill the silence. But our children, navigating the busiest seasons of their own lives, cannot be our entire social universe. To expect them to be is to set ourselves and them up for disappointment. This is where the third pillar becomes absolutely vital: the conscious cultivation of your chosen tribe. This tribe consists of the friends, neighbors, and kindred spirits who bring laughter back into your rooms and energy into your days. These relationships aren't a luxury. They are, quite simply, the lifeblood of joy. Look at Laura, a lovely 73-year-old widow. Her two sons were devoted, calling her every Sunday. But as their own careers and families demanded more of them, the spontaneous weekday visits and long weekend chats grew scarce. The silence in her home became a physical presence. She found herself waiting by the phone, her mood for the day hanging on whether or not it would rain. Then Margaret made a choice. It was a small act of courage. She walked down to the local community center and signed up for a pottery class. She felt clumsy at first, but soon she was laughing with the woman at the next wheel over a lopsided pot. She reconnected with an old friend from church for a weekly coffee date. She started a small book club with two of her neighbors. Suddenly, her life was no longer about waiting. It was about living. Her home was filled with the scent of coffee and the sound of shared stories. She had people to check on her, and just as importantly, she had people to check on her. She had built a network of care that supplemented, not replaced, the love of her family. She had built her chosen tribe. Pillar 4, your North Star, a purpose-driven life. One of the great myths of modern life is that our purpose is inextricably linked to our profession. We are what we do. And so, when the retirement party ends and the Monday morning alarm clock no longer rings, a profound sense of dislocation can set in. The roles that defined us for decades, the manager, the teacher, the nurse, the parent of young children, begin to fade. It's in this new, unstructured landscape that it's easy to feel adrift, unneeded, or even invisible. Your family loves you, but they cannot give you your why. This fourth pillar, your North Star, must be discovered within. A life without purpose is like a ship without a rudder, aimlessly drifting at the mercy of the currents. But a life with purpose, no matter how grand or humble, is a vessel with direction, slicing through the waves with intention and grace. It's what ignites your mind and fuels your spirit. Consider George, a 70-year-old civil engineer who had spent his life designing bridges. He was proud of his work, of the tangible structures that connected communities. But in retirement, he felt the void. The blueprints were filed away. The hard hat was gathering dust. His kids would visit, sharing stories of their own busy lives. And while he was proud of them, it only highlighted his own sense of stagnation. That's when he saw a flyer at the local middle school. They needed a mentor for their robotics club. George hesitated. What did he know about robotics? But he knew how to build. He knew how to solve problems. He decided to volunteer. The first few weeks were daunting, but then he saw the spark in a young girl's eyes as she figured out a complex gear ratio. He felt a familiar thrill helping a team of kids design a robotic arm that could actually lift something. He wasn't just passing the time, he was building bridges again, not of steel and concrete, but of knowledge and inspiration between his generation and the next. He had a reason to get up in the morning, a problem to solve, a purpose that was entirely his own. Your purpose doesn't have to be a formal undertaking. It can be found in 1,000 different forms. It might be finally writing your family's history, preserving your stories for generations to come. It could be mastering a new language on an app, keeping your mind sharp and agile. It could be transforming your backyard into a magnificent garden, cultivating beauty and life. It could be volunteering to read to children at the local library, or becoming an advocate for a cause you believe in. It's about redirecting a lifetime of wisdom and skill, not retiring it. Ask yourself, what have I always wanted to do, learn, or create? The answer to that question is your North Star. Follow it. It will lead you to your most fulfilling days. Pillar 5, the unshakable core, your resilient spirit. Life in its infinite wisdom, never stops testing us. The challenges simply change their form. After 60, the tests can feel particularly personal. The empty chair at the dinner table where a loved one used to sit. The diagnosis that changes your daily routine. The fading friendships that leave a quiet ache. In these moments, the most loving family in the world can offer comfort, but they cannot absorb your pain. The ultimate source of strength, the one that will see you through the darkest nights, comes from your unshakable core. This fifth pillar is your emotional resilience. Think of an old oak tree in a storm. It sways, it bends, it may even lose a few branches, but it does not break because its roots run deep. Emotional resilience is the depth of your roots. It is not about being stoic or pretending you don't feel pain. It is the exact opposite. It's the courage to feel grief, disappointment, and fear, and to allow them to move through you without letting them take up permanent residence. Take the story of Helen, a 75-year-old woman whose husband, her partner of 40 years, passed away. The initial wave of support from her children was a lifeline. They surrounded her, managed the arrangements, and filled her home. But as the weeks turned into months, they had to return to their own lives. The silence her friend Margaret felt was now Helen's constant companion. But hers was laced with the sharp edges of grief. She knew she couldn't expect her children to fill the void that was shaped exactly like her husband. Instead of sinking, Helen began to build. She joined a grief support group where she found she wasn't alone in her feelings. Speaking her pain aloud to others who understood was a release. She started a daily practice of journaling, pouring her memories and her sorrows onto the page, which helped her process them. She made a conscious effort to notice 3 small, beautiful things each day: the color of a sunset, the taste of her morning coffee, the sound of a bird singing. Slowly, miraculously, she began to heal herself from the inside out. She discovered a strength she never knew she possessed. She learned that she could be both grieving and grateful, both wounded and whole. Cultivating this pillar is an active practice. It's finding healthy outlets that work for you, whether it's meditation, prayer, therapy, talking with a trusted friend, or simply taking long walks in nature. It's about setting boundaries to protect your emotional energy. It's about practicing self-compassion, giving yourself the same grace and kindness you would offer a dear friend. Life will inevitably knock you down. Your resilient spirit is what allows you to look up, take a deep breath, and say, "I have the strength to get back up one more time." This inner fortitude is your most steadfast companion.
Pillar 6, the art of thriving, embracing the flow of change. If there is one absolute, unassailable truth about life, it is this: nothing stays the same. To live is to change. Yet it is human nature to resist. We cling to what is familiar, to the way things were, to the people we used to be. After 60, this resistance can become a source of profound suffering. The world seems to be speeding up, technology feels alienating, and our own bodies are changing the rules on us. But the key to not just surviving, but thriving in this chapter of life lies in our final, most dynamic pillar, the ability to adapt. Those who struggle most with aging are often those who plant their feet in the concrete of the past, refusing to bend. But those who flourish, they are like willow trees, learning to move with the winds of change, finding strength in their flexibility. Being adaptable is not a sign of weakness. It is the highest form of intelligence and vitality. Let's look at Frank, a 78-year-old man who prided himself on being old school. He liked his flip phone, his newspaper, and his face-to-face conversations. When his best friend of 50 years moved across the country to live with his daughter, Frank was devastated. He felt abandoned, cut off. I guess this is just how it ends, he thought. His daughter suggested video calls, but Frank scoffed. That's for kids, he grumbled, frustrated by the icons and menus. But the loneliness was a powerful motivator. With his daughter's patient guidance, he fumbled his way through it. And then it happened. His friend's face popped up on the screen, life-sized and smiling. They talked for an hour, the distance melting away. He saw the new apartment, met the new dog. The next week, he called his granddaughter, and she gave him a virtual tour of her college dorm. Frank had not just learned a new skill, he had unlocked a new world. He had adapted. Instead of letting change isolate him, he had allowed it to connect him more deeply. Embracing this pillar is an attitude of curiosity. It's saying, I don't know how to do that, but I'm willing to learn. It's being open to new experiences, whether it's trying a new type of food, listening to a new genre of music, or joining an online community. It's adapting to physical changes with grace, perhaps trading a tennis racket for a pickleball paddle. It's being willing to update your opinions and let go of outdated beliefs. When one door closes, the adaptable person doesn't just stare at the closed door. They look for a window to open. This final pillar ensures that your journey is never over. It allows you to greet each new day not with fear of what you've lost, but with excitement for what you have yet to discover.
So, there we have it. The 6 pillars of a truly resilient life after 60. Your financial sovereignty, the bedrock of your independence, the temple of your body, your vessel for freedom, your chosen tribe, the lifeblood of your joy, your North Star, a purpose that gives you direction, your unshakable core, the resilient spirit that can weather any storm. And finally, the art of thriving, your ability to embrace the beautiful, constant flow of change. Building these pillars isn't about pushing your family away. It is the ultimate act of love. It's about becoming such a strong, vibrant, and independent individual that your relationship with your loved ones can be one of pure joy and connection, unburdened by worry or dependency. You become a source of wisdom and strength for them, a testament to a life well lived. Thank you for joining me on this Senior Wise journey today. The wisdom is not just in this message, but within each of you. Please share one thing that resonated with you in the comments below. Your stories and insights are what build this community. If you found value in our time together, I invite you to like this video, share it with someone who might need to hear it, and subscribe to the channel for more journeys into wisdom. Stand strong, stay curious, and know that the best is truly yet to come.